Hey, welcome to Bikes, Boats, and Bivouacs. As many of you know, due to my health issues, I decided to retire. And I'm going to try winter camping. Now, many of you, when you hear the term winter camping, you're thinking about camping in the snow and the cold and the ice. That's not the winter camping I'm referring to. I'm talking about winter camping when you drive south to where it's warm. Cold really tends to bother my arms and legs. So we're gonna give this a shot and see how Winter Trip 2026 is going to take shape. And the Hoffmans are going on this trip, and the Hams will meet us about halfway through this trip, and my brother, who lives in Florida, he'll join us at a location or two. So that's what we're going to do. So this is really a preview of the trip. Here's what it looks like on the map. All right, so you can see that's the map from Road Trippers. That's the program I use when I'm planning routes and making sure that I'm not going under a bridge that's too low for my rig. All right, so what's our route? Well, obviously we got to go south either on 81 or 95. Tim is leaning towards running down 95, so we will probably do that. And our first stop will be possibly Enfield, North Carolina, KOA. Or the Florence RV Park in Florence, South Carolina. The key on the first day is to get below the freezing line. So up here in the north in Pennsylvania, we winterize our rigs for the winter. I did that to mine, so we want to make sure we get far enough south that I can de-winterize on our first stop so I can use all the water systems. So that's our goal. Our first day's drive will probably be the longest, and then after that it'll be shorter. Our next stop will be in St. Augustine, Florida. We're going to stop at the Stagecoach RV Park. In St. Augustine, we're just spending a night there, and then that'll set us up to arrive at Fort Wilderness at Lake Buena Vista over at Disney. And we're there for a number of days. We have some activities planned there. And of course, I always enjoy fishing on the lakes down there. So we spend some time there. And then after that stop, all the rest of our stops are relatively short drives, less than 2 hours, 3 hours right in there. So we'll head to Phipps Park in Stuart, Florida, spend some time there. Possibly do some kayaking and fishing. Then we go to Easterland Park, and that is in Oakland Park, Florida, down near like the Fort Lauderdale area. And both Phipps and Easterland are like county parks, so they're inexpensive comparative to the private campgrounds. So if you can plan your trip way in advance, you can sometimes get reservations for those places that are less expensive in the winter. When we leave Easterland, we're headed to the Keys, to Sugarloaf KOA, which is my top rated KOA in the country so far. Of all of them that I've been to, that is the best one. So we'll be there, and you'll see the Hams show up there with their rig, and the BBB Southern correspondent Keith will show up with his rig. When we leave Sugarloaf, we are going to head to the Lake Okeechobee KOA. I've heard a lot about this place, but I haven't been there. So as we start to trek north, we're going to stop there, probably watch the Super Bowl there. Hopefully the Eagles are in it. From Lake Okeechobee, we head to a park that gets rave reviews over in Pinellas County on the west coast, Fort DeSoto Park. We managed to snag sites there, so we'll be at the county park, right at the water, for a week. And then once we leave Fort DeSoto, we're gonna head to Champions Run, which is a campground in Ocala, Florida. And of course, there's a lot of springs up in that area, so we'll be kayaking and potentially swimming in that water, depending on the temperature. And then we'll probably harvest host it one night, or hit a Cracker Barrel somewhere in South Carolina on the way home. And then our next stop will be one of our favorite campgrounds, Walnut Hills in Stanton, Virginia. And then from there, we'll head home. So it's a rather ambitious trip, a long trip, but I'm anxious to see how I feel in the warmer weather. That's one of the keys for doing this trip, is to see if the warmer weather, kind of helps the pain level when I'm down there. So as we experience these different places and the things we do, I'll typically do a review of the campground that we're at, and then some of the interesting activities I usually record, especially if we're kayaking or biking. I will have my e-bike with me. So that helps with the mobility, and of course there's lots of trails down there to ride. So it's going to be a fun trip. Hope you join me and watch the videos as this trip unfolds. So if this is interesting to you, consider subscribing to the channel. It's free, it helps me out a lot. Also ring that bell, you'll be notified every time I put up a new video, and give the video a thumbs up. That helps it be seen by a wider audience. But more important than all that, go have some fun out there. Hey, thanks for watching.